Again, welcome. We thank each of you for your willingness to sponsor Elevate, to partner with us, and to be a part of our success in, helping our advisors have just a really awesome opportunity once a year to stop, take some time away from their busy lives and their client book of business and all the, management of things day in and day out that it takes to run a successful wealth management practice and join us in Arizona for Elevate. This year I think we've really stepped up our game on a couple of levels. First of all, we're moving from our prior venue to the Arizona Biltmore. For those of you that don't know Arizona Biltmore and haven't been there yet, it's one of the oldest resort properties in the Southwest, and it is just an absolute like architectural and historical gem. There's so much history there, dating back to the Roaring Twenties, and it was a big place for celebrities and kind of back in the 40s and 50s. So just a really cool venue all around. We're really excited to be there this year. It's also just a great place for socializing. It's a pretty big campus. It has a lot of interesting and neat places to hang out. You can do history tours. You can sit by the pool. You can sip a cocktail at the bar. You can, take a book and read it in the lawn. You can, just gather with friends. And we're actually going to be meeting physically in one of the oldest rooms in the facility, which is the gold room. It used to be the dining room in the original. There's a picture of it in the background there of the slide, but it used to be the dining room in the old hotel. So, lots of history there, and I think it's going to be just a great event overall. Today, what we want to accomplish is just give you an overview of the event and the schedule. I think just walk you through where the key opportunities to interact are for you as a sponsor. If you're, attending as a sponsor, if you're a branding opportunity sponsor, you'll get to see where and how your brand will be featured prominently throughout the event, or rather during the event. And, we're going to talk about kind of the, logistics and other things that you need to know around the sponsor portal, just general information, logistics, et cetera. Opportunity to really kind of get to know everything you need to know going into Elevate to, make it as successful as it can be for you as a sponsor, and also for our attendees, particularly for our advisors. We want everyone's time, and time is money, right? To be honored by this experience. So we really want to walk in the door as prepared as possible to make it just a great experience for everybody that's involved. Engagement is key, communication is key. So while we're a little bit later in our schedule with these sponsor calls, a number of reasons for that. We've been adding some staff here, which is a good thing, but take some time. We want to make sure that we're really maximizing the opportunity for everybody. So let's talk about the event. Let's talk about what's ahead. So again, it's at the Arizona Biltmore this year. That is not the right address. I just realized that that's the old address of last year's venue. So ignore that. We'll get the correct address up there on the deck that goes out today. But it is November 13 to 15. We're actually expecting probably upwards of about 50 advisors all in. One of the things that happened last year, I think most of you are aware, we partnered with RX Investment Partners, which is owned by Redbird Capital. They brought to the table a hybrid broker dealer called Excel Securities, which has since been rebranded as Ashton Thomas Securities. And since then, both sides of the firm, the hybrid broker dealer and the RIA, have added, quite a few advisors and teams. So this year, it's going to be the Ashton Thomas Private Wealth advisors, some of the legacy Ashton Thomas Securities advisors, the new advisors that have joined us in the last year. And then also, we're inviting DBA firms that are affiliated with both channels as well. So that'll be an opportunity to meet some new folks for those of you who have been in the past, and get an opportunity just to connect with kind of everybody that's in the advisory seat across our ecosystem. And then also very importantly, and of course, Ashton Thomas leadership from across, both entities will be there. And then also RX leadership will be there as well, including Haig himself, and Amy Rizzo, who is the chief growth officer. So we're really excited that we'll be, have about 3-4 people from the RX leadership there. And so that, 9 billion turns into more like, 19 when you think about RX, but, really good exposure for our sponsors this year, we solidify and deepen that relationship across, the different channels. And this is our third one. So, hopefully, it's just bigger and better every year. And we're really excited about what we have. So let's dive in and talk about the schedule and, kind of what things look like. So first thing I want to highlight is for those of you who are platinum or gold sponsors, we have something new this year, which is on Wednesday afternoon, the 13th from 1 to 4. So, a lot of our advisors get in early, either a couple days before or the night before, or, those that come in morning of, or like, they're landing at like 9:30 because we're still in, the Pacific time zone, nationally this time of year, and, right on that cusp right there. But because we are in, a Western time zone, people tend to get in pretty early, either the day before or early that morning. So we really wanted to give people something, an opportunity to do something with their time on Wednesday afternoon. We thought, hey, look, we've got a lot of people that have professional designations, many that have their insurance licenses, and a lot that just, sitting through a few hours of CE would be a good use of their time. So if you're a gold or platinum sponsor and your company has pre-approved continuing education for CFP, CFA, anything from the American College, et cetera, and then definitely also anything that would qualify for life insurance credits, please reach out to me this week. We're putting together an agenda. It's going to be first come, first serve. We're going to do highest and best use. So bring us your best ideas on continuing education. It should be engaging. It should be interesting. It should be relevant. We're going to try to cram as many hours into that 3 hour block as we can. I know sometimes, firms have like an hour and a half that counts as, 3 or 2 or whatever. And, there's different ways to kind of slice and dice that with the oversight bodies for those different credentials and licenses. So bring us your best ideas for CE, and let's make that really awesome. And then conference registration from 4 to 6, and then our signature opening event, which this year is going to be held on the Cottage Courts, kind of right in the middle of the action there at Arizona Biltmore. It's just a great location. And so that'll be outdoors with some live music. We have a barbecue theme this year. It's going to be just, really, really cool. And that's an awesome, we don't have a lot of like speaking or anything going on during that. So that's really, kind of your first opportunity, other than those of you that are doing CE and being kind of that, welcoming red carpet with the CE. That Sunset Social is really, for our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors, your opportunity to interact in person, and then, for the branding opportunity sponsor, to get your name out as a part of the event, sponsoring the entertainment. And for that event, we actually have a recorded artist who just happens to be local who's coming in, with his trio. It's an acoustic trio, and it's just, talk about just a talented human being. It's going to go great with the overall theme of barbecue, and we're really excited about that. It's just going to be, kind of that smokehouse type of theme outdoors for that event. So, we end early on Wednesday evening because we start early on Thursday. So Thursday is our full day. And so when you look at the first half of the day, breakfast on the terrace, is a branding opportunity. We'll have our welcome to Elevate with our MC, and probably a word from either Aaron Brode and or Erica Blaudeck, our Chief Operating Officer. And then we'll go right into Vision 2025. This is going to be kind of like a fireside chat with Aaron and Hike. So this is, pivotal for setting, the stage not only for this event, but, for the next year for Ashton Thomas. So then we have a keynote lined up for we're bringing in lead economist from one of the firms that we do some work with. Around, kind of the post-election landscape. This is going to be a week afterward. We may know who's elected, we may not. So, that's going to be a super relevant topic. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we're actually going to have a panel of cash and hummus advisors to talk about managing, clients' fears, and, how they do that from a, client relationship management and communication standpoint. So kind of the, home team for the morning there that gives you a break just to kind of, after you've had, and by the way, the breakfast, lunch, all breaks, all of these are opportunities for you to engage with our attendees. So, we want to make sure that you're really, maximizing that time. Everything is kind of in this contiguous space all together. It's basically one giant room, the gold room, and then we have the adjoining terrace. So people aren't going to be, generally all over the place. They'll probably be, relatively contained. So that works out well for everybody, just in terms of connecting. And then after lunch, which is, another both branding opportunity and connection point for our sponsors, we'll have our afternoon session starting off with, really kind of the family, office, high-end private wealth client experience. And so, we have some panelists lined up for that. But if you have someone who happens to be able to come through Scottsdale, or well, I guess we're in Phoenix this year, so we'll say Phoenix, on that Thursday afternoon, and they are like a true SME in family office and advanced case design, that sort of thing. We do have an open seat on that panel for another SMA who would be, just a high value opportunity for us. So, we've reached out to a couple people already who are going to be participating, but we've got another open seat on that. And then on the advanced strategies, custom portfolio construction, that's going to be kind of a split hour, half hour, two different perspectives from inside the firm, one from private wealth side and another from the RX side on, portfolio management and portfolio optimization. We'll take a quick break and we're going to come back for a presentation on gold standard and advisor and client service. We've already invited one of our strategic partners to be a part of that panel, but if you have somebody who, again, is, lights out subject matter expert on that, advisor and client service experience, we'd love to see if there's an opportunity for that individual to participate in the panel as well. So let's call that one open seat on that 315. And then LinkedIn leverage, this is a topic that comes up over and over again. How do I network? What do I do? How do I use technology? Is technology my friend or my foe? Particularly when it comes to, networking with, super high income, or, high net worth clients. So if you have someone that is kind of an open panel at the moment, it's a brief one. We probably don't have time for probably more than two participants, maybe three. But if you have somebody who is a subject matter expert in that, would love to see, somebody put their hand up for that opportunity there at the 345. And then navigating compliance is, also one where I think we have an open seat as well. If you have somebody who is a true expert and just, really engaging on the regulatory side of things. I know compliance, right? Driest topic in the world, but we've had some real good success in prior years with having some, dynamic speakers. We would love to offer that as an opportunity as well for that 345 slot. And then we'll close it out with, some of our strategic partners that we've already got lined up for that 415 session, talking about harnessing technology. But, again, there might be an opportunity for someone there if you think, you've got someone on your team that just, hey, if we don't get this person, they happen to be coming through Arizona that Thursday, or we can, divert them for the afternoon, please do raise your hand for that as well. So lots of opportunities there. And then obviously we have our signature event. So that's going to be in the Aztec room, which architecturally is probably one of the most interesting places I've ever stood in. It's basically kind of a octagonal dome that you stand inside of. The entire ceiling is gold, and it just looks like something straight out of Gatsby. So it's a great, venue for the Roaring Twenties. Casino night, which is just going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have live entertainment, casino tables, food and beverage, and then also jazz quartet, which local, recorded quartet, which is, absolutely phenomenal as well. So we're really going to have just a wonderful experience. And that'll be indoors and outdoors. We have they have an adjacent lawn area and patio, with a fire pit and all that. So it's just going to be a great experience for everybody. So people that like, to be at the tables can, people that just want to sit and talk or stand and talk can, and, people that just want to kind of take it all in and stand in the corner can do the same thing, but, still be a part of it because it's a pretty intimate room. room. So we're really excited about that. I think it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful night for everybody to connect and engage. So since we're ending a little bit later on Thursday there, we'll start a little bit later on Friday with breakfast at 8:30 again. I look at that as like, hey, if you didn't really connect with someone, that's really your kind of, time to, just sit with someone at the table or, you know, get a cup of coffee and just, finish up a chat maybe from the day before. So we definitely leave enough time for breakfast there on Friday for people to actually connect and dive in on some things. And then I've got something on the agenda for 11:30 there because we haven't really picked what we want for that topic yet. That actually will be sorted out probably later than tomorrow. But we've got a couple other opportunities here. If you're an alternative asset manager, Sumit, who's the chief investment officer from RX, will be emceeing that panel. We want you on that panel if you're an alternative manager. And then AI for advisors at 10:45. We've got two, just dynamic and just true subject matter expert presenters there, but maybe room for one more as well on that if that's something where again you can arrange for someone to come through who's just a absolute subject matter expert on that area, and then we'll announce here shortly what we're going to do with that 11:30 to 12 slot just to kind of wrap things up. So that's the overall, and then everybody gets their to-go lunches. We do have some advisors who are sticking around for the afternoon on Friday to shoot video. So you might have, if you're one of those who's able to stay and maybe you're getting a later flight out on Friday, you might have an opportunity to connect with some people over lunch who are staying for their video session. So just a little note there at the end. So let's talk about some of the other moving parts here. We don't think we need to go into the
Before we jump into that, I was
Go ahead.
wondering, sorry, this is interactive, but on the lineup there, where you said you have some available slots and stuff like that. I mean, a couple of those I think would really jump out to our firmers, so someone we can get to come in. Could you maybe provide like a list after of like what's still available and like how many slots are needed, so
Sure.
we can kind of huddle up
Absolutely.
and see if there's some spots. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Yes, will do. Will do. Great suggestion. And then I won't get into all the sponsorships again, but they're there just for your review, just in case you don't remember what you signed up for. So, or what's owed to you as a part of that. So this year we have a new feature. I think most of you have already spent some time accessing this, but if you haven't, now is your time. We'll leave a little time at the end of this call, I think. I don't think we'll go the full hour for you to dive into your sponsor portal and start getting things done. So what is this? So we use Cvent platform for events, and that allows us to have a dynamic app for the event, allows attendees and sponsors to interact digitally as well as in person. And one of the things we've opened up this year, and if you've attended other events that use Cvent, you're very familiar with this, is the sponsor portal, which is a digital exhibitor experience. So basically, this is our place to communicate with you as our valued sponsors. This is your place to exhibit, what you do and your digital marketing material and all of that to our attendees. So everyone should have received an email from me via Cvent in the last 2 weeks. If you don't, there's actually a couple emails that were sent out. If you have not located that email, if you've not found it, go check your spam, your other folder. I guarantee it's out there somewhere. If for some reason you just can't find it, please reach out to us, and there's contact information provided in here of how you can connect with us in the next couple pages. But that is very specific to you. You can reassign the control of that portal once you log in, but you have to be if you receive the email, that email and that login is specific to you. You have to log in initially, and then you can go in and add, staff and other things that, you want to, and you can designate them as the portfolio administrator. So a couple things on that. First of all, get logged in, just get familiar with it. It's pretty easy to navigate around. It's, fairly intuitive as much as these platforms ever get. The first thing you need to do is go to your task list and you need to complete your task. It's going to be right there. It's going to be very prominent. It's going to show you what you need to do. But go to your tasks. So this has everything in it that you need to know about Elevate and about how to engage with us at Elevate. So it has your sponsor agreement in there. It has your invoice. It has how to register actual in-person attendees if you're a platinum, gold, or silver sponsor. It has how to upload your logo. It has this deck in it. It has how to ship stuff to ship stuff to the Biltmore for giveaways and marketing material and whatever. It has how to book your hotel in it. So everything that you need to know as a sponsor is in one of those tasks. And all we ask is that you just go down the tasks and get them done as quickly as you possibly can. As you do them, please check them off. If you don't, you will get really annoying emails twice a week reminding you to do your tasks. You shouldn't get those anymore once all your tasks are done. But if you have outstanding tasks, please make sure you get those done. And then once you do, go in and check them off, so you stop getting those annoying reminder emails. But those are there to make sure that you're getting things done. And then lastly, with that, just make sure you maximize that portal experience. This is really for the attendees as much as it is for you. You can upload, your firm logo to your page as well as a logo that we can use for, like projecting up on the screen and all of that, right? And all of those are in your tasks there. But you can put in a company description. You can put in a contact person or contact method. You can put in your, socials if you want to connect on LinkedIn. You can even attach marketing material. You can put, brochures and pamphlets and, one pagers and things like that in there for attendees to engage with before, during, and after the event. We're going to leave the app live, probably for about a month after the event. If somebody needs to go in and get something or they forgot to pull something down, they'll have the opportunity to do that. But I guarantee you there will be enough advisors who go and check out who's coming as a sponsor. What are you there for? So put your best foot forward in that portal in terms of, the company, the description, and make sure you have your contact information in there for, who you want to be the central point of contact. I'd imagine that's most of you on this call. And then also, get your marketing material in there as well. Advisors will use it. We will remind them and encourage them to use it throughout the event. And there will be some that definitely do go and check it out beforehand. So, that really is your first point of contact. So please do leverage that and do use it. I see companies sometimes that have, events, they do a great job at this, and other companies just don't really do anything at all. And then I would say, especially for, those of you who are branding opportunity sponsors, you're not attending in person. You're supporting us through, getting your name out there and, supporting a segment of the event. You also have access to this as well. This is your digital opportunity to be in attendance. Put your information out there. You have nothing to lose by doing it. So, make sure that whether you're, an in-person platinum, gold, or silver, or whether you're a branding opportunity sponsor, that you get your information in there and you have that ready to go, as far in advance before the event as you can. So get in that portal and leverage the heck out of it. That's what it's there for. So what do you need to know? We just kindly ask that you take the time to understand what's in this. If you need any assistance at all at any point during any part of this process, please email us at eventsponsors@at-pw.com. I will go ahead and throw that in the chat here just so that you have that as well. And, you don't have to wait to get the deck. If you've got a burning question that you want to send right now, you can go ahead and do that. It's eventsponsors@at-pw.com. Looks like we have somebody in the waiting room. I don't know if somebody can let them in. I don't know why it says that, but there we go. All right. I didn't see anyone, so apologies if somebody got left in the waiting room there. Travel and lodging, again, you're responsible for booking everything. All of that information is here. It's also in your deck. Now, or in your portal rather. One thing I will say that you need to make sure that you do, but just because you've already registered as a sponsor, and just because you go into that sponsor portal does not mean you are registered to attend the event. One of your tasks in the portal is to register your actual in-person attendee or attendees for our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors. Make sure that you register yourself if you're attending and anybody else that is using the link provided in the portal, because if you don't, you're not going to get a link to the app and you're not going to be connected and you're not going to be on the RSVP list and all of that. So if you have any questions about that, again, you can email us at that. You can email us at that. That's pretty cool. I don't know how you just did that. I like that annotation there. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, feel free to draw on it if you guys need to. I mean, if it helps you remember. Email us at that event sponsors at AT. I see you. I see you, Major. Email us at event sponsors at AT-PW if you have any questions about booking. Again, as a sponsor, you're welcome to attend every meal, every session, all the, recreational and the fun stuff as well. So make sure you engage with us and with everybody there across the board. Okay. So next on logistics, let's talk about, for those of you who are platinum and gold sponsors, There, we actually do. You'll see on the bottom right of this, we actually do have some designated sponsor exhibitor space. How we actually end up laying it out will kind of depend on who wants to actually, have a table or bring a trade show display. So what we'll say is that preference is being given to platinum sponsors. They're guaranteed a spot for a trade show display if they want it. We have one that's definitely taking it, another that might, and then, it'll be first come, first serve to gold sponsors, and we'll make, the best use of it. So if you have a trade show display and you want to bring it and you are a platinum or a gold sponsor, you need to reach out to us at, that same email, event sponsors at at-pw.com. Let us know what it is that you want as a platinum or gold sponsor, and we will do our best to accommodate you, definitely giving preference to platinum sponsors. So, the options basically are you can bring a trade show display if you have one. If you don't, and you just want to bring like a retractable sign and some giveaways, we'll make sure that you have table space for those. And then for our silver sponsors, you will also have a table, a part or a section of a table, roughly, let's call it 2x3, where you can place your giveaway items as well. So you will have, it just won't be like, designated spot where, you've got seating and all of that. It's just going to be essentially, like a static display of giveaways and things that, if you're bringing stuff to the event, there's a place for you to be able to, lay out those giveaways or those handouts. So, we do have space for that for our silver sponsors, but the actual exhibitor section. The nice thing about this is it's all in the same room, and it's a huge room. And so everybody won't be on top of each other, it won't be crowded. But like people don't have to go from one section to another. You don't have to worry about whether it be traffic. Everybody's all together in the same room. There's really nothing going on except for out on the terrace, which is kind of, at the top where all those open doors are at the top of that diagram, behind the stage. Other than that, at the breakfast and lunches, pretty much everything is contained in that room. We've got a lounge area for people to hang out in as well. So, it's going to just be a really nice experience overall for the attendees and also for the sponsors. So again, if you're a platinum or gold sponsor and you want some of that space designated for your team that's going to be on site, please reach out and let us know, and we will, get you worked out logistically in terms of how that space lays out. As far as shipping goes, we have some detailed instructions which are in your portal, and you can go and get those. We'll also email them out following this meeting today. Before end of day, you'll get an email with those instructions and with an updated version of this deck as well. Everything that you need to know to ship stuff is contained in those instructions, as well as, from a legal and insurance standpoint and everything. So all that's contained there, and you should be able to just self-serve on that. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to us. The one thing I will say at the top that I didn't mention earlier is that if you are bringing a trade show display and you don't want to set it up yourself, retractable signs is easy. I mean, anybody can set those up, in 2-3 minutes, right? But if you're bringing an actual display, there will be a one-time setup and teardown charge of $250 just for labor that we have on both sides of it. People that do this all day long, day in and day out, we'll get it up and looking nice and tear it down and make sure it gets where it needs to go from a shipping, standpoint, preparation. So, that labor is also on site as well. Question? Somebody has a question. Kenzie, you're on mute, brother.
Sorry, that was a mistake. I was trying to look at the chat.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
Good. Well, hey, it works.
Lower
So
hand.
that's
There
good.
you go.
We know that. All
Yeah,
right.
hey, William.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Mike White from Field Point Private. Do you have an image, and sorry if I missed it, if it was in the deck and I glanced away. Do you have an image of what the 2x3 space looks like? Other than
Essentially
the
just
diagram?
think
It's
of
a little
like
hard to picture.
yeah,
For
just think of
planning.
like a section of conference tables with a tablecloth, like a black drape over it. And roughly, what does that end up being? Is that like a third of a table, roughly? So think of, like an 8-foot table. It's about a third of that, roughly.
Okay, so we'll be sharing tabletops with other
Correct. We'll
sponsors.
have like divided spaces with signage for each of our silver sponsors where your material will be. Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it. And would
Yep.
would the sponsorship at that level have the ability to have a tablecloth? I'm going to guess that's no, given that it's shared.
There's not really a place for it. I mean, unless you have something that covers a third of a table, then I guess you could. But so,
Yeah, we could probably fold something to make that work. And then also a pull-up banner.
pull up if you want to put a pull up banner behind that section. I don't, as long as it's like on the smaller side, I don't see an issue with that. The
Yeah, it's a
problem is
narrow
the bottom
floor.
of it
Yep.
might be cut off by the table. I don't know what the distance is
Right.
going to be behind the table. So, it
Okay.
might look okay if most of what you need to see is at the top two-thirds of it. The bottom third might be cut off. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's okay.
it's up to you, but yeah,
Okay. Very good.
good
Thank you.
questions. Good questions.
And
Thank
William,
you.
on the same point, actually, is there in terms of want to have some kind of screen, something kind of interactive? Is that available for the I think we're on the gold level. Then we can bring as well. Is there support for that?
Yes, there would be, but it's a question more of maybe we could take that offline and just see exactly what you're looking for to make sure that, it's dialed in. There's different options there. So
Yep, sure. Thanks.
yeah, let's take that offline, but let's have that conversation sooner than later, Mackenzie, just to make sure we get you dialed in. So all right. So again, also in terms of highlighting your brand, please do upload your logo to the sponsor portal. This is not just the logo that goes on your sponsor portal. We actually ask that you upload a print ready logo. It has to have a transparent background. It has to be in one of those three formats. That's pretty much a non-negotiable, or our design team can't work with them. And then on the continuing education sessions, just again, highlighting that here, Mackenzie, based on your suggestion, I'll also add a little more detail to that last section there on platinum and gold sponsor panel options, just so that, you get a complete list of, where what's available. And then just for those who will be on a panel, if you have PowerPoint slides that you want to be up on screen when you are, talking through your segment of the panel, or just, you want to have at the ready for somebody to be able to pull up, maybe it illustrates a point, maybe it's a chart that you're going to be kind of talking around, whatever it is. I mean, obviously keep it reasonable. If you're a panelist, don't send us 30 slides, because we're not going to show all 30 slides. Maybe give us 4 or 5 that we can pull up, during that time. We're actually, I think by the end of this week, we're going to have in your sponsor portal just a PowerPoint blank slide, so you know where to kind of slap that into and frame that, just so you can send those back to us by November 5th, just so that we make sure that we get anything that you want up on the slide, up on the screen there during your panel time set up in advance. If you have any questions about any of that, just reach out to us. But again, try to provide as much instruction here as we could on what the expectation is there, and what we need from you. All right. The app, anybody who was there last year interacted with the app. I think, is a very important piece of the overall event. The app is being released to advisors this week, and everybody, should have access to it here within the next week or so. And, make sure that you get all over that sponsor portal as well, because, when people do log on to the app, and, next week we're going to light up those sponsor portals for everybody to see, is, kind of like, this week we're going to do the agenda, next week we're going to do the sponsor portal, just to make sure that we get everything dialed in for you, so that when we light those up, you're putting your best foot forward right from the get-go. So just some tips here on kind of how to maximize that experience. And those are also as one listed as one of your tasks in the sponsor portal as well, of, how can you get your portal ready for the attendee experience there as well. And then, just in general, if you have any questions, again, that email, which is in the chat there and also up on the screen, and will be in the deck that you'll receive, event sponsors at at-pw.com is where you can reach the team. That is being monitored throughout the day. So, we will make sure we get you timely responses. If you have invoice questions, like very specific invoice questions, please email those to accounting@at-pw.com, as well as copying event sponsors, just so we know about those questions. You're going to get a faster answer if you include accounting in that email. So if you do have an invoice question, that's for invoices only. Please do direct those to accounting@at-pw.com with a copy to the event sponsors email. And if there's anything that you need that's, urgent and just kind of can't wait, and you need to reach out to someone, please call the main office number listed there and ask for Alex or for Lexi. They will be able to assist you and make sure that, if your question, is very time sensitive, that it gets the attention that it needs. But we also ask that you please do send just a quick email to say, hey, here's what my question is, just so we have a record of that. And if we need to forward it based on, the phone call to somebody else, that we have whatever we need, and it's in your words and, not ours trying to interpret what you're asking for. So, but we are available to help you, if you need a response in less than 2 business days on something. For those who have, are speaking opportunities or panelists or will be exhibitors, someone from the team will be connecting with you in the next week just to get all the details worked out. So, as you're giving us your feedback on, CE, or we want to be a part of this panel, or we're bringing, we'd like to have this type of, display or table or whatever, at the event, we'll make sure that we get you all dialed in for that. And that those calls will be happening individually, one-on-one, just to make sure that we dot all the I's and cross all the T's and make the connections that we have to make for you. So hopefully that sums things up nicely. Thank you all for your time. I'm going to say, we'll call this finished, but I'll stick around for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever I need to, if anybody else has any other questions they weren't able to ask.
Great. Hey, William, it's Mike White again. Another question. Will we be receiving, or is it in the portal, a list of the event attendees?
So platinum sponsors will get the list of attendees the week before the event. Gold sponsors will get a list of attendees following the event, and silver sponsors, you're on your own recognizance to connect with people via the app or in person to make those connections. So again, platinum in advance the week prior, gold following the event, immediately following the event, and which probably will realistically be the last day of the event, and silver, you're on your own recognizance to collect those.
Got it. Will the app have a list within it?
The app, yeah. So the way the app works is essentially attendees, can put whatever information they want in there, and then they have the ability to opt in or opt out of, connecting individually, just from a information privacy standpoint. So, theoretically, you should have access to them, but they also have the ability to opt out or limit what information is in there.
Thank you.
Great questions. So it's also one of the reasons why, just, because of the size of the event, we really do offer a lot of one-on-one connection time. We really want you to be able to connect with people in person and have those. It's impossible to get to everybody in an event, and we realize that, but we really want to make sure that you have opportunity to, make those in-person connections, ask questions, do follow up, while you're there. And then, if there's somebody that, hey, look, I had an in-depth conversation with XYZ from XYZ office, and I just didn't get, his or her email, then, reach out to us, after the event. We're happy to connect you if there was just a misconnection there or something. We just want to make sure that, we're honoring what sponsors paid for at, various levels as far as, what we're providing when. Good questions. Any other questions?
Looking forward to it, Bill. Thank you.
We are looking forward to hosting everybody. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great event this year. And I want to thank each of you again for your willingness to sponsor, partner with us on this event, and for your time and attention today. And stand by for those communications before end of day today. Appreciate it.